Joining us on the Guadalupe Radio Network is Father TJ Dolce. He is the pastor at St. Martha's in Kingwood. He's very active in the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston, participating in events like Steps for Students, as well as the annual Priests versus Seminarians Basketball Game. Father TJ, thanks for being here. Thanks for making the trip down from Kingwood.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Always love coming into the GRN Network studio. It's awesome.
It's a lot of fun to have you here. You've been at St. Martha's in Kingwood now since 2018. And, it's a great parish, lots of families, but I want to start off with maybe a misnomer for that parish because it is St. Martha's, but it's not the full name of the parish. Right. Tell me your parish name.
Yes, our full name of the parish is St. Martha Mary Lazarus Friends of Jesus.
Okay.
And it's
Friends
fun.
of Jesus is part of it.
Friends of Jesus is part of the title name. And It's pretty cool because a few years ago, Pope Francis elevated the July 29th feast day of St. Martha's into St. Martha, Mary, and Lazarus feast day. So now we can really celebrate as a parish that feast day on July 29th every year. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's very unique. Not every parish has that name. It's incredible. Tell me what has been rewarding for you to be the pastor there since 2018.
So I have a lot of deep roots in Kingwood. I had the great blessing of being a seminarian on pastoral year at St. Martha's in 2006 when I was on my pastoral year. Mm-hmm. So I was back there for a year. Then when I got ordained a priest, my first assignment as a priest was at St. Martha Mary Lazarus Friends of Jesus in Kingwood. So I spent the first 3 years at St. Martha's. It's where my heart started beating as a priest. And so it was really cool in 2018 when Father Borsky retired that I got to go back as pastor and succeed him at St. Martha's as the pastor. So I've really been in pastoral ministry at St. Martha's for 10 years of my priesthood and a year as a seminarian. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's a great place. I know a lot of people. They've known me for a while. It's just an awesome community.
And, of course, it's been a growing area over the years in the Humble area, Kingwood. Tell me about how many families or parishioners, how do you begin to count how many people are part of it? Because I imagine it's a lot now.
That's a good question. Yeah, it's hard to get an exact count, but we're somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 families.
Okay.
And so the Kingwood area is really growing. There's a whole bunch of new developments in the Kingwood area and the Porter area. It's growing a lot in that East Montgomery County area and the Harris County area. And that's kind of cool too. And it's unique. So if anybody's not been out to St. Martha's, when you come out to St. Martha's and you put in your GPS, you need to make sure you go to St. Martha's Catholic Church if you're coming to Mass. Uh-huh. Because if you put St. Martha's Catholic School, that's in Harris County, which is about a mile and a half away. That was our original campus when we created the parish.
Okay.
So the history of the church is in 1979 when the parish was created, we built everything at the old campus, we call it. It's in Harris County. And in 2006, when Father Borsky was seeing the growth was just extreme out there that we had to build a new church, the solution was we built a whole new church campus in Montgomery County, in Porter. And that's where our church is and our offices and our chapel and the rectory is. So we have a church in 2 locations.
That's so interesting.
It is very interesting, and it's challenging in a lot of ways ministerially because all of the prayer stuff that we do is at the church. Right. And all of the ministry stuff that we do is back at the school campus, at the Faith Formation campus, we call it. So all of our CCE programs, the school is there, all of the other activities and meeting spaces and meeting room, it's still at the old campus. So it can be kind of confusing for people if they don't know where they've gone and they've never been there. And we just had that experience this weekend at one of the retreats that we're going to that people are getting confused. Like, hey, where are we picking up from? Where are we going to? Just because we got to be specific.
I imagine the folks answering the phones in the office are having to continually field that almost.
But we have an identity now, right? The new church was built in 2011. So we have 14 years of history of people that know. But people that for the first time when they come, they do get confused about, wait, where do we go again?
Yeah. Well, that makes sense to me because I was remembering you were telling me that the school itself had flooded twice in 2019.
Yes, sir.
So that makes sense as to why that specific location had been prone to flooding at that time. And so since then, you guys have been really working on building up the school since then. Imagine that was pretty challenging, that and then COVID, just trying to get families back.
Yeah, those were tough times for everybody. But we did. We struggled with the school flooded twice. We worked with the county to get some of the flood control stuff worked out. So the cleaning out the bayou that's adjacent to it and working with some of the local officials to help out. So anyway, it's been better. We haven't had any flooding since then, but that particular area, our school, it's a challenge.
Well, remind me how many students are now at St. Martha's?
We have 390 students enrolled this year.
Yeah,
which is really
pretty
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a good-sized school. It's a healthy school. A lot of kids, man. Like, kids are great. Our kids are awesome. They're just really kind, and they love each other. They love Jesus. It's a fun place to be. And Catholic education's great because we do get to infuse Jesus into the classrooms at every chance we can get, and we get to have Mass together as a student body. It's really cool.
And Father TJ, I know you mean that when you talk about the value of Catholic education because you yourself had gone to the University of St. Thomas and had received the benefits of a Catholic education in that sense as well. Tell me about how a Catholic school can kind of bring the community together in that sense, families.
Well, and that's it. The Catholic school can be the heartbeat of the community. The kids that are learning about Jesus every day and their families are involved and they participate in the activities in the life of the parish, it really can help move everyone together towards Jesus. And one of the cool things we do at our place is once a month, our school choir sings at one of our Sunday Masses. So it's a good opportunity for the parishioners to see, hey, these are our school kids praising Jesus as part of the school choir and encouraging the parents that you guys can come. We have a school Mass every Wednesday. You guys are welcome to come and hang out and pray and praise Jesus and come to Mass. It's a lot of fun.
With a church that is pretty big and a growing part of the greater Houston area, I can imagine one of the challenges is just the fact that you're trying to kind of meet the needs of everyone. If they want to go to confession, if they, all the Masses and things like that. I imagine you have to get a lot of help from people who are parishioners there, if you have any deacons, things that can help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our community, St. Martha's is a beautiful church because the people are involved and invested.
Right.
And we have so many lay-led ministries. I mean, we have over 100 ministries that we list in our bulletin, 100 opportunities for people just to gather together for whatever opportunities that we have. A lot of social networking reach. We have a lot of support groups, a lot of Bible studies, a lot of small group communities. So there's a little something for everyone. And you have to in some of these big, huge churches where it feels like you can just go and be invisible. It's hard to really find your place in a church like ours. But with all of the activities that we have, with all the ministries that are offered, with all of the small groups and prayer gatherings that we have, it gives a lot of our people a chance to get to know each other on a deeper level and be a part of a community.
You had mentioned, again, the benefit of the school being able to bring the community together. You also participate regularly every year in Steps for Students, which is put on by the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston, that marathon in downtown Houston.
It's not a marathon. It's only a 5K.
It's only a 5K, not full thing. But you're always actively participating. I know you get a good amount of people from St. Martha's to come down for that event as well, so you guys have some participation there. Why is participating in something like that and just being seen, having representation like that so important, do you think?
It's really important. First, Steps for Students is at its heart, I guess, a fundraiser for our Catholic education, the Catholic school. So a big event like that where you solicit donors and people to participate, to help raise money, that's one. But also just the visibility of having 10,000 people associated with Catholic education for a race downtown on a weekend. It's good for visibility for people to see, like, this is a difference that Catholic education can make. And I love that event just because you can feel the spirit that everybody that's gathered there is like, Catholic education is important to us. Being able to talk about Jesus in the classroom, bringing him in all the different subject matters is a way that we're shining our light as bright as we can. So it's a really, really cool event. If you haven't been to Steps for Students, I encourage you to go. Even if you're not a runner, you can walk. It's just really cool to see the energy and to see how many kids are impacted by Catholic education.
You said feeling the spirit. Speaking of that, another event in which a lot of people feel the spirit is the annual Priest versus Seminarians Basketball Game, which you participate in, have been doing probably since the very beginning, you working with Father Preston Quintella. Tell me about how special that has been.
That's another neat event where we stand together as Catholics and say, hey, we're Catholics. It's so unique. There's nowhere else where you see that in life, where like the current guys and then the guys training to do what they're doing, the priests and the seminarians getting together to play basketball. It's so cool for the kids to see us do regular things. And after the game is one of the coolest parts, where the kids just come up and they want to talk to us. They want to get our autograph. They want to give us a high five. Want to tell us, hey, I play basketball too. It's such a cool event to say, hey, we're united together. It is an awesome Catholic event. And once again, if you haven't been to the pre-seminarian game, it is a lot of fun. Opportunity to celebrate our Catholic faith and support priests and seminarians.
Yeah, and I'm glad you had mentioned the fact that, you want people to see you visibly doing regular stuff too, because you're right, Father TJ. Usually if we're seeing you or other priests, it's in the context of the Mass, the Holy Mass. And so either it's Mass or it's confession or something involving the sacraments. And so we see you guys in sort of that holy position, but we forget that you guys, of course, like I said, participate. You're running during the steps for students, playing basketball. There is that human side of the person that sometimes we kind of lose out on or we don't see regularly.
Mm-hmm. And I joke around sometimes when people see me outside of Mass. And so if I'm working out or I'm running in the green belts in Kingwood and people see me and then they do like this double take, like, oh, wait, I know you from somewhere. It's like, you didn't recognize me because I'm wearing my Clark Kent outfit. I'm not wearing my superhero outfit. But it is funny, and it's cool to see. When people see priests doing things that aren't just praying and celebrating the Mass, I think it warms their hearts a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's a sign. Even when we're out and doing regular things, going to a ball game, exercising, people, hey, they're regular people too.
Yeah. You'd mentioned how blessed we are to have, our local seminary, St. Mary's Seminary, to have the seminarians here to be able to play a basketball game once a year. Because like I said, not everybody has that. It's something original. And I know you guys have probably got questions from other dioceses, archdioceses, about how they can replicate something in their own area. Tell me about how special it is for you as a native Houstonian to have been raised here. Again, University of St. Thomas, St. Mary's Seminary. There's so many resources here in the Houston area that makes this place, the Catholic community here, almost unlike anything else.
Yeah, and that's
maybe outside of Rome. I don't know Washington.
Yeah, I know Rome's pretty special too.
Yeah,
but I think Houston does lend itself to this amazing Catholic community that we have. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of people here that love Jesus, that want to live out their faith. There's a lot of awesome parishes in our archdiocese. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of great programs like Steps for Students and the Priest Basketball Game and others that opportunity for us to come together as, hey, we're all Catholics. We're all in this together. Jesus is walking with us on our journey, and it's a special place. And people in Houston are kind for the most part. Mm-hmm. And friendly, and loving, and
maybe not when they're driving in rush hour traffic, but for the most part,
and the hospitality, the people here are great, and I think it shows that in the way that people live out their faith in our local church.
Very good. I had wanted to ask you, Father TJ, about your advice for anybody discerning a vocation or what they want to do or what God is calling them to do with their lives. I'd love to ask clergy members about what their advice would be, because you yourself, you had participated in church from a young age, had gone to church, your parents both Catholic, and you had gone to church every Sunday. But even as a young child, you may not have considered the priesthood. It wasn't until you got a little bit older, college, where you really thought and discerned that calling in particular. What advice do you give to young people?
My advice to young people is to pray and to ask God, starting at a young age, like, what do you want me to do with life? Mm-hmm. Because in our culture, in this dominant American culture, we think of me first. What do I want to do? And so it's important to turn that around and say, God, what do you want me to do? What gifts did you put in my heart? How do you want me to serve? How do you want me to love? How do you want me to live? And I always tell parents that you need to share that with your kids, that you need to tell them that it's okay. Mm-hmm. If your son, your daughter wants to be a priest or religious, you need to tell them that's okay. And you should support them in that. We have a shortage of priests. Mm-hmm. We don't have enough to care for the needs. I have about 25,000 names in our parish database. We have 2 priests to serve the needs of those 25,000 people. That's not enough. And so we need more priests, we need more religious, we need more sisters and nuns. So just making sure that parents know it's okay to tell your kids, if you want to do this, we support you and we love you. And for the kids that are thinking about it, young people thinking about what I do with my life, ask God, what did you create me to do? What do you want me to do with the gifts that you put in my heart? How do you want me to best serve you? And I think in asking that question, God will make it clear.
When you were discerning the priesthood, when you were at the University of St. Thomas, did your family support?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and growing up, that was something my parents would say. Like, if my brother and I, they told us both, like, if you guys want to do this, we support it. Yeah. And so it was always hey, if I decide to do this, I know my parents are going to support it.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of young people, that's not the case. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. But that's why I'm saying as parents, it's your job to say to your kids, hey, this is a possibility. It's an option. And if you go that option, we'll support it.
Yeah. And I love highlighting your story in particular because you grew up in the church, going to Sunday Mass and then really making that discernment when you were in college. So if somebody's thinking to themselves, well, I should know when I'm a child, this is what I'm going to do, don't rush yourself. Think about it. Pray about it. I imagine that you probably spent a lot of time in prayer and discernment before you really decide to make that jump.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's even more prayer discernment when you get to the seminary, I imagine, because is it, 8 years?
Depends on how much schooling you have.
Yeah.
And it depends on when you end up entering. I mean,
yeah.
the requirements for seminary keep changing. The PPF, the program for pastoral formation keeps changing. But it just depends. It could be anywhere between, 7 and 12 years, I guess, now.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot involved.
Yes.
Very good. So getting back to your parish at St. Martha's in Kingwood, you guys had recently done, a few updates, chapel, activity center, what all did you guys have done?
Yeah, we updated a lot of our building space at the old campus, the Faith Formation campus. Mm-hmm. We put a new gym into our floor at the activity center. So now our school kids and their volleyball seasons and their basketball season that's coming up, they'll be to play on a new court. The PE kids that use it every day, they have a new floor to enjoy. We also updated our chapel at the old campus, at the Woodland Hills campus, we call it. And it's opportunity. New carpet was put in, new paint job. We updated the offices, did the same thing with carpet and just refreshed it. Yeah. And made it look nice and pretty. So yeah. It's good. It's good for people who get to use it, and it's a good opportunity for us to celebrate that, we're parish family. We have some nice facilities to be able to reflect on God's love and opportunities to have meeting spaces that are refreshed.
Nice and pretty is a good thing. You've got a pin on, what is it, Knights of Columbus?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
So are you yourself a member of the Knights of Columbus? And so is there, I imagine this active group for Knights.
We do. Council 12320 in Kingwood is really active. We just had our wine dinner this week. So the Knights of Columbus, their big fundraiser in the fall to raise money for their various ministries that they were supporting, like Martha's Kitchen and the Catholic Schools and St. Vincent de Paul and in our local chapter. Anyway, so that was their big fundraiser. So I was wearing the pin.
Excellent. We love to give the Knights of Columbus a shout out here on the program because of all the work that they do, of course, around the archdiocese at individual parishes like yours. So that's great. Very good. I was going to say, for people who want to learn more about St. Martha's in Kingwood, how often do you have Sunday masses? And just give me an overview.
We have 6 masses. We have one on Saturday night and then 5 on Sunday.
Okay, very good. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you remember the URL of your website? stmartha.com. stmartha.com, just stmartha.com. Pretty easy.
It was very easy, yeah. And we got some great stuff on there.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I know you guys put a lot of information on there, including posting the bulletin and everything, so a lot of great stuff. Father TJ Dolce, St. Martha's in Kingwood, thank you so much for being on. We appreciate, again, you're making the drive here to our KSHJ studio.
Oh, thank you so much, Walt, for having me. Thanks for all the great work that you do, and thank you, everybody, for listening.